The Elimination Chamber was pretty status quo, but now we get to see if WWE kicks it up a notch because it is full-on WrestleMania season. Next stop, Philadelphia. Roman, Cody. Who's fighting Gunther? Is it Sammy? We got some clues from Raw. It is Spandex Stand-Ups.
What a great intro.
Yeah.
I mean,
thank you.
You know,
Scream to me old school wrestling, you know?
Yeah. We're back.
We're back.
Episode 4.
Oh,
That's
man.
my favorite number.
But also, you know, shout out to Ole Anderson.
Oh, man.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. News today. One of the 4 horsemen
It's a bummer.
passed away. True legend.
Yeah, the original.
How's he related to Arn? Brothers?
I don't think they are. I think they just looked alike.
No way.
I think old school wrestling, they're brothers.
No way.
I think so.
I think they're real brothers.
I don't think so.
Don't play me like that. All right, fine.
We'll find out. Tune in next week. We'll have the answer for
Yeah,
you.
comment section. Light us up for
Let
not
us
being
know,
wrestling
please.
fans, for not knowing.
I'm pretty sure that they're just kayfabe
Okay,
brothers.
Interesting.
Back in the day where they're like, you're two chubby bearded men. Go for it.
Makes sense.
All right, let's kick into. We got so much to talk about.
So much happened.
much to
So many
talk
shows
about.
since the last episode. We had an NXT, a SmackDown,
I love
an
that you're in
Elimination
NXT
Chamber,
now.
and Monday Night Raw. I mean, let's go.
Look at this man getting into NXT for his followers.
Dude,
But loving it.
The way NXT is doing their backstage promos, very TV show cinematic. It's very like, ooh, I like it, like Mafia, like
The Don.
yeah. I mean,
love
it's
the Don.
just so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I love it. All right, let's get into some news up top. Speaking of your beloved NXT, Booker T is returning to commentary this week after Byron Saxton taking over for him the last couple of weeks.
All right, Booker T, welcome back.
I like
love
Booker.
you.
What do you think of him? He got worst commentator of the year from the awards.
Well, I will say in the pre-show sometimes he's out there and he gets really into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes with Booker T, he's either really into it or not into it at all.
Okay, I'll give you that.
If you've noticed that, you're just like
You just opened my eyes to that. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that because he is way too over the top. But then there's some pay-per-views where like, is he all right?
yeah, exactly.
That is hilarious.
but
I
I
didn't
love-
even think about that.
But he's such a legend, so having him on the desk, I mean, it's just
I love that he's got some of his students in NXT. That makes me feel a little more wholesome about it. You know, I don't know.
totally.
Rob Fee is now the director of character development in WWE.
Big news.
He's known for Bray Wyatt storylines, and most recent, R-Truth gives him credit for the Tom and Nick
Okay.
Mysterio.
Shout out to Rob. Congrats.
Yeah.
Keep up the great work. We're having fun.
Well, that's awesome that they're promoting people that their stuff's working. Mm-hmm. So that's good to know. We mentioned old Anderson passed away. Talent reportedly had a tough travel days to and from Perth. Some up to 6 stops
Jeez.
to get back home.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it was hot. I heard it was, and they've got shows to do after. I know the SmackDown the night before was pre-taped.
Yeah.
But they had to get back to California 2 days later for
Monday Night Raw.
I mean, I saw Nia Jax out there looking jet lagged on Monday Night Raw.
Now, see what we're gonna get into it, but what would have happened if she'd been your champ?
Exactly. Well, she'd probably be even more tired because once you're champion, you're up all night, you're partying, you're popping bottles, champagne.
Especially in, we're sorry, her also home country of Australia.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
We
I
didn't
thought
know.
she was Samoan. I didn't think she was Australian.
Yeah, thank you for our listeners filling
Yes.
us in, and
Thank you for letting us know.
thank you to those that gave us that information politely.
Yeah.
To those of you that were rude about it,
Why?
why?
But why though?
Yeah, WWE's not talking about Nia being from Australia.
Yeah, they really did. They
didn't
really
talk about
undersold
that at
didn't
all.
they? I love that they also undersold this. Pirates affected travel plans for the chamber.
I love this. Let's make a movie. Get Tom Hanks in there. He's like, the chamber must get to Perth. We must figure out who faces the architect for the world title at WrestleMania. I mean, we need it.
I love it, man.
Let's get John Cena in there. John Cena
flies
in on
a
it's helicopter.
WWE, so they're gonna have John Cena. Maybe Randy Orton.
Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
With Randy Orton, we're getting some clarity on what Randy Orton's WrestleMania plans are looking like.
Well, that's good. I want you to fill me in because I'm still a little fuzzy on them. So, okay, good.
Yeah.
WWE looking to collab with Sylvester Stallone for WrestleMania 40. I guess Rocky, Philadelphia.
I think it's perfect. You know, we saw Kevin Hart doing the cold open, I believe, last year's WrestleMania. Fantastic. You know, I think let's get Sly in there to give us a cool open.
Yeah.
Heck, maybe let's get Hulkamania back in there, right? They had you're like, nah. Let's get Sly there. Sly's still hot. You know,
we're gonna have Jason Kelsey. You know, we're gonna have a Jason Kelsey sighting because it's Philadelphia.
Well, that would be great.
Yeah,
let's get that in there.
Yeah.
I'm sure Travis will be there.
Yeah,
if he can. Well. I'm sure he'd be doing some backflips.
Yeah, you know. What happened? Did Gronk just give up on WWE?
Well, I mean, I think I'm
not mad at it.
I think he probably had a real sour taste in his mouth after hosting WrestleMania at the Performance Center in front of nobody.
Fair enough. Didn't think about that.
They still made him do that.
Yeah, they did. And he dove off the thing, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Hard sell.
Oh man, I know you're excited. We had a main event right before Raw on Monday night. In main event, Ivy Nile defeated Xia Li, and Ivar got one over on, wait for it, Apollo Crews.
Oh, of course.
Where's he been?
Apollo?
Yeah.
Taking L's.
Being
underutilized out here.
At least we had a sighting, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I like to bring main event to you every week, the update, because sometimes I forget about some of these people. But that's awesome. I think they're going to believe in Ivy Nile. I don't know what it is about Xia Li they're not fans of.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
that stable they had going with Dante Chen and the creepy old Asian lady in NXT, I loved it.
Yeah, I like that too.
But they just didn't care. They didn't have any...
No, we'll see what they do.
We'll see. NXT check-in. I've been a big fan of Kalani Jordan lately.
Yeah.
She had a great match last Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I think she's a future star.
I agree. I could see a debut in the Women's Rumble next year.
Oh, I'd like that. Yeah. Run through some NXT ladies the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Maybe have a little run with the belt.
Yeah, that'd be great. Set her up.
I like that. I like it, man. I like it. Some are talking that they've loved Baron Corbin and Braun's tag team so much they're talking about them tagging on the main roster.
Oh gosh, I hate Baron Corbin on the main roster. I don't know why. Even if he's with the tag team, he's great on the mic. Maybe the fact that I don't like him so much makes him a great heel. I think it does.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because he's doing his job.
He's doing his job because, when you really think about it, he is great on the mic.
Yeah.
He's not a bad wrestler.
Yeah.
I think it's more of an aesthetic thing.
Okay. Well, I think he hit the nail on the head with his first gimmick.
Yeah.
And he's not had a good one since then. Like the Lone Wolf? Yeah.
The Lone Wolf.
He had some questionable
what was
hairline.
It? Happy Corbin?
That was terrible. That and Madcap. No wonder poor Madcap didn't have a fair shake.
Happy Corbin. Like, how do you go from Wolf guy to like Vegas play? Like,
because that storyline of being down on your luck was great, but then the payoff is he wins big in Vegas, and now he's Happy Corbin.
Right?
Nah.
And then didn't they make him GM for a while?
Yeah. Terrible. Oh, I forgot about that.
It was horrible.
Oh man. At least they had some kind of direction.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But no, I could see them tagging on the main roster. Could be fun.
They said they've been having the Spear of Days.
The Spear of Days has been great.
They're flirting with they like it so much. The name of the tag team.
Okay, I like that.
What were they also called? The bad dog.
Something like that.
Dogs.
Yeah.
And I'll go for it, man. Yeah. I love cheesy tag team names. I just say every tag team should have a name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you need a name.
I hate when they just throw two random dudes together because they're not doing anything. Make them successful and then don't give them a name.
Right. Need a name.
You docked points immediately if you don't give him a name.
Need a name.
I don't like it.
Need a
I don't
name.
like it. We get Trick Mello, and then Ilya's mixed in with that. Round out NXT. I'm excited about that. When does Mello move up? They keep teasing him on the roster.
They do. I don't know. When would be the moment? Not after WrestleMania.
Have they shifted to Braun?
Raw after Mania, maybe.
Braun steal his thunder a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't have,
maybe.
like,
I mean, a little bit.
I mean, they're destined to feud forever.
Yeah.
So
I think we're going to see quite a few people move up to the main roster Raw after Mania.
I think we get a lot of cuts.
Yeah.
A lot of cuts this year. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, the Indies have never been hotter, so I'm here for it. Mm-hmm. Immediately, Dolph won him gold.
Yeah.
Ali won gold.
That's what happens. Leave WWE. I mean, you're a star. WWE makes you a star everywhere else.
Yeah, Matt Cardona's still killing it. Mm-hmm. The indie god. I love it, man. All right, let's talk about it. Elimination Chamber. Judgment Day retained the tag titles.
Finn had a nasty injury at the end of the match.
That thumb?
That thumb. Gross.
Fingers, dude. That just creeps me out, man. When joints aren't in where they need to be.
Gross.
Yeah.
But great match.
They'll just keep him off TV till Mania. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
JD and Dirty Dom will take all the abuse.
Dude, Dirty Dom is becoming a massive star.
Oh, for sure.
Like, massive star. Fun to watch. His facial expressions, his acting. Dirty Dom, future world champ.
I love that he got away from his dad to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a snarky way. I love Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
But I'm glad Dirty, if he made it this far with his dad, there'd still be the snarks that are like, nah.
Yeah, I think
his dad made him famous.
I mean, I definitely see a moment where we get a babyface Dirty Dom at some point.
Oh, you got to.
But right now, everything he's doing is working. It's clicking. It's fun.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
And he stepping up to Gunther?
Yeah, it's awesome.
On Raw? That's great.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. Indy Hartwell got to shine. Her team lost, but she got her moment. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
She's been with the company for a while. And every time I feel like there's a big return, I always read, Indy Hartwell trained so-and-so. Indy Hartwell got so-and-so ready to go. And I'm glad that they let Candice, even though she was rocking some fire Bluey gear, inspired by Chili, the mom from Bluey. She took the L, so Indy didn't have to take the L in Australia. So that was nice.
Yeah. That was on the pre-show.
What tag team goes up against the Kabuki Warriors?
Great question. Really great question.
Looks like they're building up Shayna and Zoe over on Raw.
That could be it. I mean, I think that's got to be it. I think that makes the most sense.
They're the two toughest, And I definitely don't want a Tegan Knox, Natalya.
Right.
match.
Everyone else seems kind of preoccupied with stuff.
Yeah, I want to see them fight. They've thrown each other out of some battle royals now, and they're a team. Mm-hmm. A team in WWE goes so far. Oh man! All right, Drew and Becky win their chambers. How you feeling? I know the Becky name came up.
I mean, I feel like they're doing a lot to sell us on Becky right now.
But how do you feel there might be some other people intertwined in this storyline? I don't think we get a straight. I think we're getting what you wanted plus Liv.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like it. I mean, again, the man, Becky Lynch, she's great. She's great cutting promos. She's great. I think it's a great match. It's a great sell. Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch. I'm into it. Again, the way that we got here has felt forced.
Yeah.
Did not feel like a surprise when Becky won.
Which match did you like better, the men's or women's?
I liked the men's match a little bit better, just because we really got to see kind of some.
Boy got to shine.
Well, we got to see some moments, and we got to see some things that might be setting up for some great stuff at WrestleMania
for sure.
And in the men's chamber match, we saw AJ Styles.
I love we're getting AJ
run in and kind of sabotage LA Knight, which I think is a great matchup and pairing, because again, LA Knight, because he could, and then on the flip side, what we saw was Logan Paul kind of out of nowhere. He brought his brass knuckles into the match, but then kind of after he had already been eliminated, just knocked Randy Orton out.
Ooh,
and then Randy Orton got pinned.
Okay.
So Logan sabotaged Randy Orton, and so now it's like they're setting up for Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and there's a lot of people that are upset because they wanted LA Knight, Logan Paul.
There's so many great matchups they have available to them that this is gonna be a problem no matter what pairing they go with.
Yeah, but this matchup makes sense, and here's why. Right, Logan Paul, Randy Orton. Randy Orton is one of the few superstars still active that has transcended the sport. RKO out of nowhere is as big as John Cena. You can't see me, right? So putting Logan Paul against Randy Orton, that guy that has that name in popular culture, is a great matchup. It's a great sell. On the flip side, LA Knight, AJ Styles is a great match for LA Knight because what better way to solidify yourself as one of the top performers in wrestling
AJ Styles
than a match with AJ Styles,
who's been great
at
everywhere.
WrestleMania.
Yeah. I love it. I agree with you on that.
No one. It's unfortunate to say this, and no offense to LA Knight, but his name doesn't transcend outside of pro wrestling just yet.
No, I'll give you that. I like both of these matchups. I think I love the idea of the legend killer becomes the legend. Yeah. And now you got a young buck chasing the old head.
Trying to become a legend killer, new legend killer.
And does Logan Paul not remind you of young Randy Orton
exactly.
a little bit? So I love that aspect of it. So they've been dropping so many little nuggets that I didn't pick up. I just took that as Logan helped eliminate Randy. I didn't think of... And now what? So that's awesome. I guess we'll get to see some more roots of that in SmackDown.
Yeah, Randy Orton's not going to let that go down.
God, no. Especially Logan Paul.
And again, I think it's a huge matchup.
And I think you can even throw, if you're just, and I'm all for it if it makes sense. You know, I know we get around WrestleMania, they're tempted to throw these 4-people, 3-person tag, these matchups at us, get more people involved in Mania. I'd be okay with Kevin Owens involved in that.
Yeah.
Just because it's going to add to the match.
Kevin Owens
still got some unresolved stuff.
Exactly.
Throw Austin Theory in it.
Right.
I'd love
Throw everyone into it. Make it a ladder match. Why don't we do more ladder? Where are the ladder matches? WWE.
That
quick
intercontinental
question. Where are the ladder matches? The greatest match in wrestling history. Where are those? We'd love more. Thank you. Just want to throw that out there.
That Intercontinental ladder match at Mania years ago was amazing.
I mean, dude, if you go back to Monday Night Raws from like 2000 to 2005, it's just like epic ladder matches. Rob Van Dam, dude, just oh my gosh.
And all those guys.
And they've even sure it's a dangerous match.
It's like those guys are fine. Don't worry about it. They're all doing great. They're all at home resting comfortably.
Yeah. But so I'm excited about kind of what was set up in those matches. And then, of course, we have Drew McIntyre winning. Great for him. Great for his morale.
Dude, his promos.
And then his promos are great. I mean, I love this new Drew that's just so bitter and is just...
he's a rugged old stand-up comedian, and I'm here for it.
And he's just so happy with everyone's
dude.
failures.
And what's crazy is he's that snarky old guy that's right. And you don't want him to be right, but he's right. He was right about CM Punk. Right. I mean, all this storyline. But, he was right about all this. He's planting the seeds for Seth to be like, Seth, look, man, we're fighting each other. I don't care, but you're going to get hurt messing with the bloodline.
Right.
Like, that whole promo was amazing. Yeah. And he's going to be right.
Right.
So I love the Drew McIntyre we're getting right now.
Yeah, and I think he's going to get his WrestleMania moment.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. I think he's going to beat Seth because I think he's going to be right. And I think that's going to plant the seeds for Seth to be mad at Cody.
Yes.
And we still get us into that.
Yeah.
Because I think that brings back the bitter Seth, the evil heel Seth, and I'm here for it.
Well, I think once Seth drops the title, we don't see him for a while.
Same with Roman. No, that's what I'm saying. He's got to go away for a while. He needs to heal.
And that's why, after Mania, it's going to be interesting if we have two, which again, I don't know how much longer they're taking this bloodline.
I'm good with Cody and Drew being the flag bearers.
Right.
Why not? Mm-hmm. Drew deserves it.
Yeah.
And especially if he's this heel, right. I'm here for it.
Yeah. And again, I mean, you can kind of, if you take If you take Roman off of TV for a bit, take Rollins off of TV a bit, these other guys that you've built up will have a real opportunity to finally start shining.
These storylines we can get. Just imagine Cody on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Challenging The Rock. He's challenging The Rock out here.
So you think we'll get that at SummerSlam?
Yeah, and I could see.
So now you think we're getting?
I could see that match. I could see that match being made official any day.
He wouldn't have called Rock out for no payoff.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to say that, and we don't get that match at some point.
Yeah, like I could. Here's what I could see happening.
All right,
let's
paint me a picture.
So I could see The Rock responding to Cody's challenge by saying, "I accept your challenge. Let's go ahead and set a date."
Okay.
I don't know if they would do it in Saudi. Ooh, I don't know if they would do it in SummerSlam, but I could
see Saudi.
Let's go ahead and set a date, and I could see Rock saying, "And if you beat Roman at WrestleMania for the title, then that match will be for the title." Then
so that's the stamp on Cody's reign, is him beating The Rock as his first opponent?
Well, and that gives a bit more reason for The Rock to interfere in the match.
So then it looks a little less blatant, but it still happens.
Right, yeah, because then The Rock is basically coercing the situation so that he gets a championship match at SummerSlam.
Yeah. Ooh. Because now I can see that camera panning to Roman when Rock lays this stipulation down. Mm-hmm. Roman's, because he sells surprise upset so well.
Yeah. Or if we want to take conspiracy even further, right? Let's do something where somebody else interferes in the match.
Jacob Fatu.
Somebody else interferes. We come to find out later. So again, still a scenario where The Rock accepts the challenge, SummerSlam. If you have the belt, it'll be for the belt. Someone else interferes at WrestleMania. And then because Roman has embarrassed the family, The Rock kind of punishes Roman. But we find out later that The Rock orchestrated
the whole thing. He's got other Samoas coming in.
So then The Rock still gets his championship match. And then when Roman comes back, because if Roman loses, he's going to take some time off. When Roman comes back, he now is like, Rock, you screwed me over.
What if Rock has Toma Tonga? Because him and Haku are tight. So what if he's got the Gorillas of Destiny and Jacob Fatu, and at WrestleMania we get The Rock's own bloodline?
Yeah.
Then we get bloodline versus bloodline.
Yeah. It'd be great. And then again, now we're setting up Roman Rock WrestleMania 41, which now they're talking about WrestleMania. Now they're talking about WrestleMania 41 being in Vegas.
Oh wow. Yeah, you got to go big.
But again, they're still booking. I just do love how like the bloodline is moving forward with the storyline that's like, y'all have the biggest WrestleMania match of all time in your hands and you ruined. I really like that they're
leaning into that.
This.
I love Heyman. Did you see Heyman pull out the Rock phone?
Yeah.
He had Tribal Chief and then he had Rock's phone too.
Love it. Yeah.
Dude, come on.
Totally. So yeah, I mean like now I think we're setting up for 3 Rock matches. I think we're going to get a tag match at Mania, a Cody versus Rock match at SummerSlam, and then potentially Rock versus Roman at 41,
there we go.
Where Roman probably takes the title back.
Ooh, okay.
And yeah, and I do think that we get
another
Rock run. I mean, right now with The Rock as heel, being a board member, having the power that he has, the real life storyline integrated with the great. Like
the new
I think we would all love for The Rock to have a title run. I think he would have fun with it, especially if you're gonna have a title run, we just want you on television. We just want you to show up.
Please.
We don't need you to wrestle, but we need you to show up.
It's got to be short though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can see it going from SummerSlam to Mania.
Could we do Survivor Series to Mania? Because Survivor Series could be Bloodline versus Bloodline. 4-on-4.
Oh, well, they are setting up the Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Whose side does Jay take?
Well, Jay takes,
The Rock?
He'd end up joining The Rock.
Because that would be the fan. Because
you
you can't just debut all these random Samoan wrestlers that WWE fans are not going to know.
Right.
They can help. They can be in addition to.
Right.
But he's going to need that Solo Sikoa-esque type person that the fans already know. So
right.
Jay's a good squad. Right. How you feel about Rhea retaining? I know we laid it out last week where she didn't.
And again, like, we weren't saying it was going to happen. We were just saying it'd be cool if Nia took it.
Let us have our moments.
Yeah. No, Rhea's great. Rhea's gaining confidence. She's a great champion. Really fun to watch. It was a great match. Honestly, like, Nia Jax was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a really fun match. Really great. I don't know how I feel about the kayfabe stuff when, like, you know, we have this performer and then we see them cry with their family. It's like, what are you? Are you a demon from the Judgment Day, or are you
a demon?
Or are you Meredith's daughter? Like which are you?
You can't be both, Rhea.
Yeah, because I just saw you hug Meredith and Todd over here, and no, I'm joking. I don't know if those are her parents' names, but.
Let's do some other Raw check-ins. It does look like Nia and Liv are going to be added to this Rhea and Becky storyline.
I love it. Add them. Throw them in.
They had them in 2 segments on Raw.
Yeah.
So that's really nailing that in there. And there's no way to have a match that's going to pay off from now until then to narrow it down.
Maybe we'll get a nice little fatal 4-way.
I'm here for it. Those 4 are good.
Yeah.
I think those 4 could put on a show for us.
Totally.
Sami Zayn got a much-needed win.
Much-needed win for Sami Zayn, but still getting dunked on by Gunther.
Yeah, but what if this is the payoff for Sami's dedication during the Bloodline, that he's the one that dethrones Gunther, so Gunther can go after bigger dreams?
I could easily see it being Sami Zayn, but we all want it to be Chad Gable.
We did get to see him on Raw in the coat. That was nice. A reintroduction.
Yeah, and I love Chad Gable being like, I want that. I want that. Like, I think let's get some Gable mania. I think they might end up pitting Sammy and Chad Gable against each other.
Be a great match.
Seeing who the fans
see what who they get.
And then again, maybe let's get a triple threat. I would love a WrestleMania of just like all fatal 4-ways.
I do want a ladder match in there.
Yeah, we need a ladder match.
It's Mania. Mm-hmm. Come on. Judgment Day also called out Gunther though, and Imperium.
Yeah, I mean, Damian Priest coming out here. Yeah, no, it's getting.
I think they're teasing it because they have picked up on the internet community not really being a fan of Damian taking the title off of anybody.
Any of them.
Who's he going to take? Who legit do you see Damian Priest cashing in on?
Yeah, he comes out there with
wounded Seth. Like, if they don't give us McIntyre, which I would be upset about.
Again, I don't dislike Damian Priest.
I don't either, but he wasn't the right call for the.
He was
the right call when they had the Finn Balor story right in their hands and they didn't pull it.
Because there's no
payoff here.
No, there isn't. And again, it's like the Judgment Day is not the dominant faction in WWE.
Is that what they're waiting for? Are they waiting for an end of the Bloodline so then they can boost them up? Like, I don't know why we're still.
I mean, you know what I could see? What would make sense is that if Drew wins the title,
that would suck.
I would love
a failed cash in to really strike that Drew McIntyre's a beast again.
Yeah, I mean,
he cashes it in. R-Truth distracts him, and then that's an Claymore to the face.
It'd be an amazing way for Drew's WrestleMania match. Then, like, if he has to defend it, and then he ends up beating both of them, like, give Drew every moment. Yeah, be great.
That Imperium. How'd you feel about the Imperium New Day street fight?
I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. I love to see.
I'm excited Imperium got the win.
Yeah,
and I love New Day, but Imperium needed a win.
Yeah, and I love to see the New Day out there in jeans.
Yeah,
that was sick.
It had me thinking the Triple H Shawn Michaels street fight. They brought Michaels back. Mm-hmm. It had those vibes about it.
Yeah, since that was a wild match.
Since R-Truth thinks he's seeing DX running around backstage again, not in suits. And like we touched on earlier, man, Drew McIntyre is just dropping gems behind the microphone.
He's got a whole new swagger about him, which looks good.
Yeah.
It looks good on him.
I do have to ask you, what was that awkward segment with Paul Heyman and the off-duty suspended cops?
Yeah.
What was that? What was he trying to say, that he's got so much pull that he can get dirty cops on his payroll? Like, was he trying to go like Penguin-esque?
He was
like,
trying to riff. It didn't really work. I think what he was ultimately trying to communicate was, I'm traveling with security.
But why the suspended cop?
It was maybe dirty cops. I don't know. Maybe to show that Roman Reigns is aligning himself with just dirt bags. Yeah.
Way to go, WWE, because that's what you need right now, is to think you're full of dirt bags.
Right. But Cody's emotion in that promo was great.
Yeah, he sold it. I mean, it was Heyman, and Heyman was not he was his usual self, but he was given.
And I just love the great thing about wrestling is when Paul Heyman was like, what was it, a year ago? Me and you were crying in the ring, saying we forgive each other. Maybe Cody said that. And I'm just like, wrestling's so great. Bringing up the old history, bringing up the storylines.
And they're doing it more and more. And I like that.
Totally. They're not afraid to bring up anything.
No, they talk about AJ and Drew on the indies.
They're not afraid to talk about everything. And it's a good... whereas before it was like you couldn't even call yourself a wrestler.
You couldn't mention any promotion. Now we got it looks like we got a TNA champ in the Rumble every year.
Right.
And I'm loving it. Mm-hmm. Jordan Grace did fantastic.
Yeah. Really great.
I think she would do real great with the women's division we got right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump over to SmackDown. Rock scheduled for the foreseeable future. So we get him for the next 3 weeks at least, and then who knows what after that.
Dude, I hope he's just on SmackDown running his mouth, telling people, this is the greatest night of their life.
I want them all in. I want all the heel tactics. I want everything.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Stop doing the goosebump thing.
Right.
It's not heel.
No. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to... I'm curious to see... There's clearly going to be a lot of development in the story over the next 3 weeks.
Yes.
I'm curious to see what they do. I mean, where do you think? Where do you think The Rock's involvement in Mania is going? I mean,
I think they got to at least tease a little bit of a riff. Like he got to speak last week, and Roman was quiet. So now I need them either cutting each other off, or them fighting for who's talking, or at least Rock reacting to what Roman's saying. I need a little bit more development in how are they going to get along.
Right, because we haven't really seen them.
Because they went from, we're fighting at WrestleMania to, I guess we're on the same side now.
Right.
Like that. So now I need to be like, what's the temperature in the Samoa, in the family?
Right. Yeah, and I think we just need to see... to me, it feels like they're steering away now from a tag match between Seth.
Yeah, I mean, now
Cody.
they can't fit it in anywhere.
Yeah, like it doesn't because now Cody's coming out and challenging The Rock.
Right.
So
and how are they planning? Because they're making it sound like Seth is going to help Cody, and that's going to end up hurting Seth. But we all know that Seth Drew's going to be night 1. Cody Roman's going to be night 2.
I'm not even convinced Seth Drew is the last match.
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, that's fair. I mean, it would make sense.
Part of me feels like Logan Paul, Randy Orton. Well, that could be a
makes
kickoff
sense
match.
for the ladies' 4-way.
Yeah, like I could easily see Drew and Seth kicking off night 2.
But
I'm sorry, kicking off night 1 or something.
No matter what, Cody Roman's going to go after it.
Cody Roman is
it's just a weird narrative they're painting that he's going to get involved, and then that's going to, unless it what I would love to see happen is the Bloodline sends their goons out to mess with Seth during that match, and Drew doesn't mind. Drew's like, I told you so. I told you this was going to happen.
Because that's kind of what he indicated he would do.
Because he had no problem taking the win against Cody.
Yeah, because that's what he said. He goes, don't let it happen. He said, don't let them destroy it. Don't let them taint my victory. He said, here's what's going to happen.
Because he's going to win.
He basically says,
that could be another layer
Drew's not opposed to winning That
But
way
now
he
he's
just
agitated.
Yeah.
That's not. Ooh, I like that.
Right.
I like that little.
Yeah.
They're dropping so many little nuggets, man. I love it. What do you think of this catch? What is it? Catch Republic? They got the British strong style guy.
Yeah, I love it. I think
But
it's
where do
great.
they go from here? You know, they didn't win.
No.
They got a title too early. I would have loved to see them win a feud before facing the champs, because that match.
I mean,
It was
I
a
think
throwaway match.
You build him back up.
Yeah.
You put him in matches against, you know, just keep putting him in matches.
Yeah.
Let them find their footing.
They got some fun tag teams over on SmackDown.
like they're
LWO.
like they have enough legitimacy, like
Got it.
DIY. Like I see them at the same level as like DIY.
You think they finally get over the hump now that they're DX?
I don't know. Because I mean, to me,
I'm still irritated.
To me, I'm like, their matches in NXT were so good that I'm like, where do they go from here?
Well, I want them to have a run with the belts and then feud, because we want that on the main roster. But I would love that the feud turned back into the Way coming back.
Yeah.
Because that was my favorite Austin Theory. They actually used Indy. And where is Dexter?
Right.
He could be killing it on Raw right
It's
now.
about Dexter Lumis?
Yeah.
Love Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis, one of the best, weirdest, fun characters.
I love Tacoma FD.
Yeah.
It's a fire show about the Super Troopers guys.
Yeah, I
was
booked
on
those guys for TMZ.
Oh, that's perfect.
They came in Super Troopers guys.
He did an episode.
Yeah, that's
Dexter
awesome.
Lumis, and he killed it.
Yeah, he's great.
Why is he not on? Pride versus Final Testament. Where do you think this is leading to? We did get AOP beating Street Profits, but it wasn't really like a domination clean,
Right.
you know, and like everyone got involved, and then that happened.
I think we're just headed towards another like tag team showcase at Mania. That seems to be like what they're doing.
You think Final Testament gets over?
Yeah.
What's Lashley?
They're going to put them over, yeah.
Lashley just hanging out. Street Profits just hanging out.
That's what it sucks. They don't have anything for like. Here's what they honestly they need more titles.
They need trios.
They need trios. Bring in a trios title and bring in more titles. Like I loved when we had a cruiserweight title. There's a lot of people that could be technically going for the cruiserweight title.
I feel like we got a million things in NXT, and it makes it more fun.
We could do a welterweight title. We could do a middleweight title. Just something, because the issue right now is you have a lot of guys that where you're like, yeah, where like
I don't know if I want too many more titles.
But here's
I'm down
the
with
thing.
one more on each show.
But there's
a
only
trios on SmackDown, and then give me the cruiserweight on Raw.
Right. But and the beautiful thing about wrestling is that you are telling stories.
Yeah.
And you are but
they are getting
but at the
better
end of the
about
day, they're
storylines
moving-
without the belts.
But yes, they are. But if they're also trying to veer into more realistic territory,
What are you fighting for?
what are you fighting for?
That's
You're
fair.
fighting for
That's
the
fair.
belt.
That's fair.
You know,
Okay.
so
I just want it to mean something different. I want it to be differentiated.
Totally.
You know, I just don't want another belt that we just don't know.
well, no,
what
and
the
that's
belt's
why I think
about.
it should really characterize a division. Like,
Yeah.
And again, it doesn't even have to be a cruiserweight, but guys that are high flying.
Yeah.
So your Andrades, your Montezes, and your cruiserweights.
Those, because I've been rewatching some Monday Night Nitros,
Yeah.
and that's the best part, is the cruiserweight.
Dude,
and
it was the
they
best
intertwine their cruiserweight and U.S. titles, so it kind of got. That's the only thing I don't want to happen is the television U.S. and cruiserweight all kind of got lost.
Right.
Like one week I was watching X-Pac stole the cruiserweight title, and let's say Eddie Guerrero got it back. So then he stole the U.S. title. I'm like,
Right.
it's the same thing.
Totally.
You know? So I just want it different. Like, that's why the trios would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of blood at all. Like, I think it's way overused sometimes. But
a hardcore title.
I'd even be cool with a hardcore
I think
title.
we need, again, just so, like for people that
I don't want the 24/7.
like Kevin Owens should be the first hardcore champion.
Right. That'd be awesome.
Like his brand of hardcore.
yeah. Right. Backstage battles.
Backstage battles, jumping off of things, not like barbed wire and thumbtacks, but
Yeah.
like more like hit me with a golf cart.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah,
So I
more
think
fun.
that's kind of what could really help with bring certain characters into more. Because again, you've got Sami Zayn just like You got
just dwindling.
They're just like,
he could be in the cruiserweight division.
You're just like, they're like, what
it.
am I doing? Like, if I'm not mad at anybody.
Right.
I'm a good guy.
Yeah,
so I'm
but
not
what
out
are
here
you going
getting
for?
mad at people.
Right.
So what? Am I just
I'm
gonna,
mad at myself.
Am I just gonna, what? Am I just gonna keep getting attacked by people and backstage, and that's what's gonna start every feud? Some Shinsuke Nakamura,
No, I get you.
Like,
I did enjoy that match though.
I enjoyed it too, but again,
I get what you're saying. It didn't really have story to it.
Yeah.
He interrupted an interview. Because also, what is Nakamura doing right now?
Terrorizing people.
But he's got to win.
Someone's got to put it into it. Who's going to come along? I feel like someone has to come along and be like, you're terrorizing people, we're putting it into it. Like, who is that person? Because, otherwise, like, where does Shinsuke's story go?
Yeah. Because he needs a win, man.
Shinsuke?
Yeah.
Well, he needs a win, and he needs... because he keeps... losing.
Yeah. He can't terrorize people if no one believes you.
Right. The 24/7. Oh my gosh.
Well, speaking of nightmares, I thought we could go over the many faces of Cody Rhodes.
All right, yeah.
Because we talk about his story coming to an end. Finish the story, Cody.
Finish the story. Everyone's like, finish the story, Cody. People are like, but what is the story? Where does it begin? Who is this guy?
It's a hell of a story.
Hell of a story. And I know a little bit of it firsthand. I walked some of the same streets
That's awesome.
as Cody Rhodes. Some of the same
y'all
halls.
went to the same schools.
Same high school. Lassiter High School. He walked those halls maybe 6 to 8 years prior to me.
All right.
But his name was
everywhere.
In the gym, wrestling, high school, state champ.
He was state champ.
While I was there. And we used to see him and Dusty Rhodes at the Publix every now and then. And
son of a plumber.
Yeah, I remember the first time, I was very young, the first time we ever saw them. And I just remember someone yelled, "Dream!" And the guy just went.
I do love that he's adopted Nightmare.
Yeah.
American Dream, Nightmare. It's perfect.
It's great.
All right. Well, Cody Rhodes started training at 12.
Started training at 12.
He begged his dad to help him train.
Yeah, and again, we all know, if you don't know, Dusty Rhodes, son of a plumber, legend. In his time, how would you describe Dusty's career as a wrestler?
Shouldn't have made it, but had so much charisma, he was undeniable. Mm-hmm. He's the definition of be undeniable.
Yeah, great on the microphone. Great.
Dude had a stutter.
Yeah.
In a time, people were not nice to people that had stutters.
Yeah.
Or not stutter, but a lisp.
Totally.
People weren't nice back then.
He was a bit of a bigger guy, so he was out here, not looking like your typical wrestler. But
even at one point, McMahon tried to crush his hopes and dreams by putting him polka dots, and he still crushed it.
Yeah. So Dusty Rhodes, one of the most really, when you think about people like Ric Flair,
the perfect
when you think about Hulk Hogan,
Ric Flair,
like Dusty Rhodes is one of those guys.
Because they built the NWA off that feud.
Exactly.
Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair.
Yeah.
They built it off of that. So this man was everything to the wrestling industry. He was
a founding father of current professional wrestling.
Would you say he'd be on the Mount Rushmore?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree. And you wouldn't have a lot of these, the new breed, their promos would not be nearly what they are without this man. He gave so many people confidence. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, all these people that have come through NXT, he has had a hand in. So Dusty's
legend.
Yeah.
So Cody, son, and also, there's an older brother.
The natural.
Dustin Rhodes,
I remember him from
Cody's
WCW
half-brother.
days. He's from the family that Dusty was on the road with, so there was some resentment there. Dustin and Cody haven't always been too brotherly,
right? But always, they always did bond over wrestling.
Yeah,
and so Dustin ended up venturing into professional wrestling.
Yep. I loved him in WCW, man.
Yeah.
The natural Dustin Rhodes. Come on.
Yeah, but I guess, from what I recall hearing, he didn't totally have Dusty's support. And so one of Dustin's first major characters was Goldust, and Goldust is actually a pretty iconic
now.
Pretty iconic.
People almost did not know what to do with him when I remember I was young.
Yeah, and if you
I was like 10 when he debuted.
If you don't know Goldust, he's kind of like Old Greg. If you remember Old Greg,
he was designed after the Oscar, the Hollywood, the Goldie.
Yeah,
you know, so.
And so it's an interesting character, kind of like an alien or like a spacesuit, face paint. Called himself Goldust,
and he was out there, man.
Yeah, and from what's been said in historical documentaries and such, Dusty kind of hated the character.
I think you can take out the kinda.
Thought it was an abomination. And
hated that dude.
And Dustin knew it. And Dustin was kind of doing it as an FU because he was like, if you're not going to support me, well, this is my way of getting your attention. So,
but do you think it made it the character it was because he had his dad's resentment fueling him?
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's. In hindsight,
so yeah, he had that angst, but he also great character,
right?
Groundbreaking character,
totally. So this is all stuff that Cody is seeing
and building this man
and so Cody starts wrestling. He's at 12 years old.
Starts training at 12. Debuts on Raw July 2nd, 2007, with a backstage segment with his dad and Randy Orton.
And again, Cody had a great career. High school, I believe a couple state high school wrestling championships.
Started in OVW.
Yeah, then went to OV. So again, minor
leagues.
Yeah, like all of these things are still kind of a bit part of the career.
Yeah.
And then but he made his official debut on
2007.
2007.
2 weeks later, he lost to Randy Orton in his actual wrestling debut on TV. He would then go on to win Tag Team Gold, his first gold in WWE, teaming with Hardcore Holly.
Wow.
He won that.
Bob Holly.
He won Tag Team Gold on Raw's 15th anniversary show.
Well, that's great.
So him and Hardcore Holly, who then they would feud with Ted DiBiase and a mystery partner. Surprise, Cody's that mystery partner. Turns on Hardcore Holly. Now he's teaming with Ted DiBiase. They're now champs because he cost technically himself and Hardcore Holly the titles by winning the titles.
Silly.
Right? They would lose it to Cena and Batista, of all people, but then gain it back and then lose it to Rey Mysterio, and I can't remember who his partner was. But that would lead them to forming Legacy with Randy Orton, Ted DiBiase, Cody Rhodes, designed to shoot these guys to the moon like Evolution did to Randy Orton.
Right. But it didn't do that.
It did not.
It did not.
Ted DiBiase was tough to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. And even Cody at that time was a bit like...
He had no direction, really. He was just like generic wrestler number one.
Right.
And that did them zero favors that all three of them kind of looked alike.
Yeah, at that time, Cody Rhodes was almost like when you're in a wrestling video game and you're creating a character.
But you're in a rush.
And you're making your moveset.
Yeah.
And like they're showing you the moveset and you get to select and it shows you like this fake avatar character. That's kind of how Cody was wrestling at the time.
Yeah, it was very awkward.
Yeah.
I've had to go back and watch it. I took a break from wrestling at this time, but I went back and watched quite a bit of this. They formed Legacy. Eventually, Orton turned on him.
Yeah,
like he does.
You got to. You're like, listen, you're holding me back, boys.
He would go on to coach Husky Harris, Bray Wyatt, R.I.P., on the second season of NXT.
Okay.
That would lead to some random stuff when they were still really trying to figure out what NXT was. Mm-hmm. They didn't really know what was going on with the coaching segments and all this stuff. So that would lead to him becoming a narcissist. And that's when we got Dashing Cody Rhodes.
I kind of loved Dashing Cody Rhodes.
I did too. The grooming tips.
Yeah.
Come on. It was original.
Totally.
But it was kind of also a nod to throwbacks, like Mr. Wonderful. And, like, I remember when Lex Luger debuted and they towed out those big mirrors and he would just flex on people. And I hated him for that.
Totally. And at this time, I mean, they're really not talking about Dusty being Cody's father.
They're really trying to distance it.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, Cody really wanted to make his own name for himself.
What was Dusty in TNA at this time?
Potentially, that could have been it, yeah.
Yeah.
So conflict of interest.
He would then team with Drew McIntyre.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
They had a run as a tag team. Yeah. And then from June to September, him and Drew had a very successful tag team.
I love that.
This is in 2010. And then in January of 2011, Rey Mysterio legitimately broke his nose. And then we got the undashing gimmick, where he became a little more ruthless. He would beat up his opponents and put a bag over their head in the matches. He had the broken nose mask.
It's great.
He would hit people with it.
And he fully committed to these characters.
This is when we started getting, like, I love dashing Cody Rhodes because that's when we started getting, okay, Cody Rhodes can do this.
Right.
Or at least some people saw that.
Right.
You know, some people did not see that. But then the undashing, really great character work. Because you truly believed he thought he was hideous.
Right.
It was great.
It's great, yeah.
And then the bags over the opponent's head.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. That would lead to him in August of 2001 winning his Intercontinental Championship. That he would bring back the old design.
You said 2011?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would bring back the old design of the Intercontinental belt, the white belt. I loved it.
Yeah.
And when I first started watching it, it would change colors depending on who won it. Like we had like baby blue and then yellow.
Yeah.
And, like Ultimate Warrior had all the colors.
Yeah.
That would lead to a feud with Big Show. He would go on a little bit of a losing streak after losing his Intercontinental title. Actually trading it back and forth. This is when I got back into wrestling.
Okay.
I came back into wrestling in 2011.
Great.
So we had the white and purple tights,
time,
the CR, you know. He traded the belt back and forth. And then we ended up getting Team Rhodes Scholars with Damien Sandow. Loved that one. Because he grew the mustache.
Yeah.
He would do, Damien Sandow would do the microphone and Cody would do the mustache. And it was so pretentious and it was so good. But then they would actually be a team for a while, up until 2013's Money in the Bank match, which Damien Sandow won by costing Cody the match. Pushed him off the ladder when he was about to go for it. That would eventually lead to them feuding and Cody throwing the Money in the Bank contract into the river, wherever they were at for SmackDown that night.
So another wasted Money in the Bank. Vince was just torturing his locker room.
Yes.
What's the point?
That's back when Raw would get one and SmackDown would get one, so they could have fun with one and have one be real.
Right.
So he had fun with this one. That dissolved their partnership, of course. You don't really come back for. You're not really like, my bad, man.
My bad. I know I just costed you a world championship match.
Yeah, but it was fun on SmackDown back then, man. This would lead to, Damien Mizdow, and him being the Miz's stunt double.
Yeah.
Shortly after this, so. Oh, man. And then that would lead to his partnership with his brother, Goldust. But this is when he's Cody Rhodes still.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes and Goldust, that's when they were fighting the Authority.
Cool match. That was a great
Triple H,
time.
Orton, but they would go on and take the Shield's title.
And I believe Dusty returned during this. And was
that's
in a match.
when they're raising the tag
and there is a great
and they're
moment,
hugging him, and he's still himself.
Yeah, and there is a great moment where, around this time and maybe even a little bit before, Dusty, Dustin, Cody really all got on great terms with one another. They ended up doing this match where
Got
it was
to be on camera together.
Rhodes,
That's just cool,
at this
man.
point now, they are being a bit more public about Dusty being Cody's father, and there being that lineage there.
Yeah,
and it was a great moment. If you get
felt
to watch
like he was going for something big.
Yeah.
You thought this was the start of something big. You thought he had worked his way up. Because I didn't think anything about WWE misusing him, because they were using him like an okay progression at this point.
Right.
Tag titles a couple times, dip your toes in, Intercontinental, win it with your brother against the Shield. The Shield was the hottest thing in the world right now.
Right.
Then they got to feud with Team Hell No. Like, that was huge,
But that was like a Dusty. I think that was a Dusty thing.
Yeah, well, it worked though.
Yeah.
But I mean, from someone who didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, thinking like Cody's the next, he's going to keep getting pushed. Mm-hmm. So, but then Stardust emerges.
Stardust.
He did the best he could with it.
He did the best he could, and Stardust was basically Goldust's
ADHD little brother.
Yeah, came out looking like, again, in spacesuit, face
which
paint.
was also a name that Dusty had in AWA, Stardust. So it was also a nod, like, you're screwing me, but it's a nod to my dad.
Exactly. And so, kind of a very interesting character that clearly Cody was very uncomfortable doing.
It led to a match at WrestleMania, tag match with Stephen Amell, though. So
Of the era.
he was given this terrible gimmick, and he at least brought in a Hollywood actor
Exactly.
who sparked his love, and we got heels on
Totally.
on the TV
Great
show out
show.
of it.
Great show on Showtime.
He tributes falling in love with the wrestling.
Yeah.
So I'm here for it, man. But, you know, that was tough.
Because, all this time, Cody's getting opportunities because he's a great technical wrestler.
So he's getting beat.
But there's
in
just...
front of our eyes.
but there's
Because
just...
you remember Cosmic Wasteland with the Ascension?
Yeah.
Ooh, what a garbage fire.
Right.
I
Terrible.
saw Kron, the big guy still wrestling. He's in TNA. He's getting him and PCO put on a rough match. But he was granted his release May 21st, 2016.
Yeah.
His first independent date was wrestling Zack Sabre Jr. on August 19th, 2016. And that would lead from the Indies, Tour of the Indies, to Ring of Honor, to TNA, to New Japan, to AEW, back home.
Yeah, and if you watch the Cody doc on Peacock, very good. Apparently, Cody made a list of all the people and places that he wanted to wrestle independently, and he just crossed them off.
How did he get pretty close?
Yeah, I think he was able to do most of those.
That's awesome.
And that's where
He showed up everywhere.
And that's kind
like
of
he really gave Matt Cardona the blueprint.
Yeah, I mean, that's where he became the American Nightmare, and then he got the neck/face tattoo.
I'm not going to lie to you, that still, to this day, has been my favorite run of Bullet Club. Is when him and they were in the Ring of Honor days.
Yeah.
When him and Kenny Omega were kind of fighting for the leader.
Yeah.
But they didn't really get a big payoff to it because they just they got out of Bullet Club to do AEW. Yeah. But man, when Ring of Honor would come on late night TV on whatever random channel it would come on, and I would record it and watch it. And I stayed up to date on those Ring of Honor storylines because they were so good. So that's where I got introduced to Punisher Martinez, Damian Priest, Adam Cole, Shane Taylor, Dalton Castle, it was Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. They were the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Now they're the Undisputed Kingdom in AEW, I think. I'm okay with whatever they're doing. And they're really making Adam Cole look weak when he's hurt.
Totally.
They got to stop putting him next to Wardlow.
Right. What do you think we'll ever see Kenny Omega in a WWE ring?
I hope it's not one of those Sting scenarios where he's just way too old.
By that point.
Because he's getting there.
Yeah.
He's already hurt. And he's got other health issues. Like, what's he got? Diverticulitis?
Oh, I don't know. But he's just such a great wrestler.
I hope he gets a WrestleMania moment. I hope the Young Bucks get a WrestleMania moment.
I mean, yeah, it'd be incredible.
I hope they all do. Because they all deserve it. They're great for them. Wrestling has never been better.
They won't.
We love WWE, but TNA's top of, like, they're not what they were when, Scott Steiner and all those guys were there, but they're putting on.
I think as long as the Young Bucks are still like
I love their gimmick
at
right
AEW,
now.
They're not going to do WWE.
No, I get it, but I love their gimmick right now. They're kind of their take of the Authority, and it kind of works.
Yeah,
but they're like not like Authority. They're like, we beat the crap out of that dude. Authority, like Authority, like I've always wanted the Authority figures to be. Just because you make the rules doesn't mean you got to be, McMahon pee your pants because Stone Cold came around.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Like wearing the suits of the blood.
Love it. Yeah.
All right. So, what's your final thoughts? Where are we at with WWE? What you want to see happen? What you're excited for?
Final thoughts are, well, Drew McIntyre is going to win the title from Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
I'll buy into that.
And then, which is going to set up beautifully for a CM Punk return.
Ooh.
Oh,
they are laying these. Yeah.
Drew McIntyre's been talking.
Laying it thick.
Shit.
Laying it thick.
Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to get.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
So
I've been so focused on these feuds, I hadn't even thought about
So
it's getting so good.
So very excited about that. Very excited to see what The Rock does on these on the road to WrestleMania. And yeah, final thoughts are it's just such a great time to be.
What a time.
Great
to
time
be a fan.
to be doing all of this.
I want to see how they progress this Bailey Io Sky feud.
Right.
Because it's kind of been pushed to the back burner a little bit. They didn't have anything at stakes. Because you know how much they're able to progress the other feud from Elimination Chamber. It's Cody and Roman. That's
Right.
easy to push.
Right.
They kind of let the other lady, like, yeah, we got to see Dakota Kai get beat up, and we kind of get to see where she's a wild card. I'm excited to see who is she betraying Bailey? Is she really on Team Bailey?
Right.
So I do love that sprinkle, but let's see how they develop this, where we go from here.
I mean, could we get a Sasha Banks return to assist?
I would lose
some
my
Bayley?
mind, dude. I would lose. I don't think it's a done deal.
Yeah.
I think she'd be in AEW if she was already in AEW.
What surprises do you expect the night after WrestleMania?
Oh, okay. You got to have a big NXT call up. So you got to have a big debut. Oh man, I don't know. That's the best part.
Yeah.
It is wide open right now.
Wide open.
They literally can do anything.
Yeah.
We got to have a. But see, that's what sucks is because I remember one of my favorite moments still to this day of WrestleMania or Monday night after WrestleMania is Dolph Ziggler cashing in.
Yeah.
But I'm not excited about the cash in.
Who did he cash in against?
Alberto.
Oh, yeah.
But that's back when he had AJ and
Yeah.
Big E. That stable was not given adequate time.
No.
It was so good. It was a throwback to, Shawn Michaels and Diesel,
Yeah.
but then you had crazy AJ Lee thrown in the mix. It was
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
But, we didn't have that's my parting thought. I'm excited about all these factions. Now let's use them. Let's have some big brawls. Let's have the gang wars we had in the late 90s. Let's get LWO versus Legato versus Final Testament versus the Pride versus everybody. Let's get them in the ring, beating the crap out of each other. Get some trios titles out here. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Let's enjoy the road to WrestleMania.
We
Let's
appreciate
hit that
y'all listening to
subscribe
us.
button.
Hit that subscribe. Keep listening.
Thank you, Project Nerd. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week.